Deepfake porn is a real threat. It can be traumatic for victims. And there is more that you need to know and learn about the dangers of deepfake porn. And most importantly, find out how we can fight it. Deepfake porn is a growing problem. It has terrifying implications. And today we are joined by a woman who has experienced that reality. Noel Martin is an Australian activist and lawyer. Having been a target of deepfake porn, she is now working towards raising awareness about technology-facilitated sexual abuse. Welcome to WION, Ms. Martin. My first question to you is, you have been a victim of deepfake pornography. Could you please tell us how you discovered your fake videos and images on the internet?
My journey with this abuse has extended over 10 years, and it started off with perpetrators fabricating images of me into pornography and sharing that online. I spoke out about it and I started fighting for law reform, and that only caused the perpetrators to continue to target me. And so they created fake videos of me, deepfake videos of me, I believe as a way to silence me for speaking out.
So did you eventually find out who was behind it?
To this day, I have no idea who's behind it. And I don't believe it is one person. I think it's a number of people. And I do believe that they are overseas, so not in Australia.
So in such a case, how can we trace and punish offenders then?
What we have is a global problem, and countries around the world can only do so much because they are limited by jurisdiction. And so we need to figure out a solution, I believe a global solution, so that we don't have a situation where someone halfway around the world can do this to another person and ruin their life and livelihood and employability and dreams and hopes without being held accountable, and the journey that we're on.
So when we talk about deepfake pornography, victim blaming is quite common, and that's unfortunate. How can we change that?
Victim blaming, the shaming of women is very it's a huge issue. I think the best way to deal with it is to have conversations and have these uncomfortable conversations. I mean, we certainly need these conversations to be had in schools, in universities, in communities, and we have to be willing to challenge our own attitudes and assumptions, and also be willing to challenge other people that might have these attitudes.
There is another concern. In times when AI is rapidly advancing, it could become easier for people to access new technologies and create fake videos and photos. How can we tackle it?
I think there won't be just one solution. We need to ensure and fight for countries and jurisdictions around the world to criminalise the non-consensual sharing of intimate images and videos, and that needs to include AI-generated deepfake porn. So we need laws. We need some sort of justice in place for victims to turn to. We also need to improve our education around this issue. We need to hold tech companies accountable, and tech companies who are helping to facilitate this in some way, or who profit from it.
As you said, we need to hold tech companies accountable. My next question is, are tech companies and social media platforms doing enough to crack down on deepfake videos?
I think we are starting to see more action from social media companies in particular, but I don't believe it's enough. Content like this still finds its way on the platform, on platforms, and these social media companies in particular are profiting from the sharing of this illegal content. So I think more needs to be done to ensure that they're not allowed to do that, to ensure that they are required to take down that content expeditiously.
What, according to you, can lawmakers do to mitigate the misuse of deepfake technology?
Lawmakers need to implement laws that criminalise the creation and distribution of deepfake porn, and criminalise that without consent. that is just at the baseline. There are other potential solutions that lawmakers can try to achieve. In Australia, we have an online safety regulator that is responsible for keeping Australians safe online. And so, if you happen to be a victim of deepfake porn or image-based sexual abuse in general, you can report it to this regulator. And the regulatory system that we have in Australia is being used as a model for other countries to emulate, and that might be something that countries around the world can consider doing themselves.
And before we close the interview, I would like to ask you, do you have any message for the victims of deepfake porn? How can they cope with such trauma?
It doesn't have to ruin your life. It might feel that way when it's happening, but you can get over it. You can get past it, and you can come out stronger. And you shouldn't ever have to feel any shame.
Thank you for sharing such valuable insights, Ms. Martin. Deepfake pornography could have lifelong effects on an individual's reputation, dignity, employability, and interpersonal relationships. For many, it could be a never-ending struggle. Therefore, policymakers need to take stringent measures to regulate the deepfake technology.